So good afternoon, everyone present over here. This is your host, Shikhar Mehta. So today we are going to have an informative session on the topic innovative teaching approaches for transitional education from by SVKM's NMIMS by Center for International Studies along with Kingston University, London. So currently we have our two speakers, Deepali Kamle ma'am and John Sebastian Pereira sir. So Deepali ma'am is currently the professor and director at Center of International Studies. So speaking about her work experience, so she holds 15 years of education experience in research, educational leadership, institutional strategy planning, and international higher education. And speaking about John sir, so John sir is currently associate professor and course director at Kingston University, London. So he holds an experience of 10 years. He holds an experience of more than 10 years. So I hope this session is going to be quite interesting and informative to you guys because it's gonna be of 15 minutes each session. Along with we have Muskan, who is our alumni from Center of International Studies and Kingston University. And after that, we are gonna have a Q&A session. Thank you. Over to you, Dipali ma'am now.
Thank you, Shikhar. Good afternoon to all the participants and welcome to the webinar organized by NMIMS Centre for International Studies. Good morning, Dr. John, and good morning, Muskan. Thank you for accepting this invitation and being a part of this webinar. I'm sure, as Shikhar said, it's going to be really insightful. So we look forward to this. On behalf of SVKM NMIMS Centre for International Studies, I welcome all the participants to this webinar on innovative teaching approaches for transnational education. Students, the participants, this particular webinar, we will be focusing on two aspects. One is innovation, innovative teaching tools, as well as transnational education. So all the participants who are a part of this webinar today, I'm sure you all are aspiring for international higher education. And therefore, we decided to take this topic, a quick 1-hour session on transnational education and how this transnational education is going to benefit to your career and to help you further in your career pathway is what our objective of keeping this particular topic as. I'm sure at this point of time, you have lots of expectations and some apprehensions too while deciding on your career path. And dear participants, don't worry. I'm sure this webinar will give you more clarity on how international teaching is being carried out, what kind of learning process is being inculcated while teaching happens in the classrooms. And I'm sure by listening to Dr. John as well as Muskan from the offshore, they will also help you to understand how this entire teaching, learning and innovative tools being used by these universities. So before much delay, I'll start this webinar and I'll share my slide. Can I share my slide, Shikhar?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll be able to? 1 minute.
Yes, ma'am, you can.
Okay. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am, it is. It is.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll take a very short time to just connect you to today's topic is about transnational education. Okay, so transnational as a word, I'm sure we all are familiar with the transnational word, and transnational as a term being used more by the corporates, when they carry out their businesses offshore. In education, what does exactly this transnational means? This transnational actually means an arrangement in which the programs are offered by the educational institution based in one country to the student and delivered to the students in another country. Transnational education, I will say that the context to the globalization, transnational actually had offered lots of opportunity in this education sector. How? It offers actually a multicultural, a diverse, and an internationalized outlook amongst the students when they are thinking or aspiring for the transnational education? I say participants here that the global demand for this education, training and research has suddenly increased, because you will see that the entire the process is being driven towards the kind of internationalization which has happened, and therefore we have tried to even adapt or maybe take up the curriculum which offers you major advantage as a student who can understand the globalized perspective as far as businesses and the corporates are being concerned. Okay, this transnational education is not new. Of course, I'll say it's new, but it is a permanent reality which we have seen. Giving credits here at this point of time, where transnational education, a thought which has started by SVKM way back in 2006, to develop the students, to groom the students, where they can understand how international perspective can be studied, can be understood. So therefore this particular program with Kingston University, so SVKM Sri Deepali Kamle and Dr. pioneered there in 2006 and entered into a collaborative arrangement with Kingston University, London. We are offering Bachelor's of Business Administration right from 2006 with Kingston University. And again, as I said, the objective is to groom those graduates, make those graduates who are very well can take the corporates, can take up the business at the internationalization or the globalization, for that matter, what we talk about. So this is about SVKM and NMIMS and how it started from the perspective of transnational education. Going forward, I'll take again a few moments to make you understand when you are thinking about transnational education, what all are the thought process you are having at this point of time. Maybe when we take any international university for taking up our higher education, or when we are thinking about taking up education or any kind of curriculum which we are talking about for, or the degree programs which we opt for, what are the things which we look out for, and how are we going to be employable, how it's going to help us in our learning process. The first is digital technologies. The digital technologies, the advancement of the technology which has happened, and the kind of technology which an international university uses is something which gives an edge to those transnational educational institutions which are using the latest digital or the latest technologies when it comes to teaching and learning process. To give you an example, like for our collaboration with Kingston, so when we deliver the lectures even at Kingston University, and for us, we use Canvas as the learning management platform. Okay, so Canvas is the technology which is being used. The SAP portal is the technology which is being used by NMIMS for delivering lectures, for providing all kind of resources which are being available through this all advanced technologies. And trust me, this technologies actually helps us as a teacher and as a student in simplifying our learning process. So lectures are available on the platforms, our teaching materials are available on the platform. So it's not necessary for a student to carry every time in the classroom, but they can access to all these resources anytime, anywhere where they are available. So that is where the context starts from the globalization, and we connect to the international universities which uses the digital technologies. So just to give you and connect to this first particular point, this is how your dashboard will look like when we use Canvas infrastructure or a Canvas technology. So this is where the university uses for sharing of the resources, the teaching resources. I'll quickly take up all this point because it's a very important for an aspiring student who are looking out for international education. When you look out for this transnational education, the second very important point is the curriculum which you are going to study. The curriculum design in such a way that a student get advantage and understanding of a local as well as an international context. So to give you an example, how we try to teach in the classroom, we try to focus on to the Indian context as well as one topic which has been delivered will be referred from the Indian context as well as it will be taught from the international context. And therefore, a student is very well prepared for the international markets. Maybe they are very well prepared for understanding how a global scenario is functioning. At the same time, they are not away from the local, where they are very well in line to what is happening in India in their local context. So therefore, the perfect blend you will find in this transnational education is of a right set of curriculum as well as a right content delivery being made by the faculties. Third very important point is this transnational education actually focuses on the student engagement. Now, when it comes to student engagement, it is very important that the communication flow which happens in the classroom should be two-way. It's very much necessary today, and I'm sure you all will agree to me that the post-pandemic, the situation has completely changed. You as a student also, your retention time is very less. So if I give you a book to read, if I give you a paper to read, maybe you will not be able to grasp. However, if I'll ask you to engage into an activity, maybe a debate, maybe some kind of role play, if I show you a podcast, I mean, that it will be more interested to say, okay, give me a reflection for the podcast which you have recently watched or you have recently heard for as a motivational speaker. So this is how we actually ensure that the students are engaged, and that is what is actually the benefit or glory of transnational education, and the student will get benefit. So if you are looking out for an experiential learning and something away from a rote learning, something away from a bookish learning, this is a kind of programs you can look out for as a transnational education. A very important part to be covered up is a transnational education also focused on skill-based learning. When I'm saying so, you actually try to set up the curriculum where various aspects, various skill orientations are being maybe engaged or embedded in the curriculum in such a way that at the end of it, the learning outcomes are the student are skill oriented and they land up into, or maybe they get the proper employability out of those curriculum which are being designed. So when you're looking out for a transnational education, these are a few of the points you should keep in your mind when you are looking, whether a particular program is digitally advanced, what kind of technology are they using, what kind of curriculum design is being made, what kind of the content, the syllabus has been made, how and the delivery will be happening, and what kind of experiential learning and skill-based learning are being taken up in the embedded in the curriculum. Finally, a transnational education also offers a flexibility and delivery. So this is a plus point which we take it for a teacher, where when I'm saying flexible delivery doesn't mean omission of any kind of curriculum part, but flexible delivery means we give flexibility of getting up various kinds of activities and merging it with the curriculum so that student experience, student engagement can be enhanced. So therefore, why transnational education? So think about it. Why are you looking out for or aspiring for any international university for your higher education program? If it serves all, wonderful. If it serves few, of course, it's a good university or a good program for you. So before you take a final decision on your degree program, please look out for all this why transnational education for you. Okay, so this is something which I just now mentioned about the canvas which we use. Okay, why we spoke about as a teacher, what kind of tools do we use, what kind of tools or techniques are being utilized by this international universities so that your student experiences or your learning experiences can be more and more enriching. Okay, when I said about it's about experiential learning, okay, it's more about application orientation which we do. I'll give you a quick example of how a human library work. Okay, so like in our classrooms, usually we take human library. So at the initial induction time when students are new to the classroom, it is a very good activity where everyone share their own experiences and they put up their reflection on table where each one of the student in the class learn from their peer group, which is a very interesting activity, and of course being embedded in the curriculum like the behavioral sciences, such as organization behavior, which is more embedded to the topics of culture and international businesses. So it's just an activity which is being taken up in the class. Then we have the activity like for teaching tools, which is being used for this is a case study. I'm sure we all are aware of this case study, group presentations, and the industrial visits. So I'm not going to again go through all of this, but these are the various teaching tools which are being used by international universities, which are being used for the purpose of, or maybe I'll say transnational educational institutions for enhancing student learning experiences. To just quickly focus on our subjects like operations and supply chain. It is more embedded, it is more clubbed to industrial visits. For teamwork and team building activities, they are clubbed with outdoor activities. We recently went to Silvassa and we had those wonderful activities where students learn about teamwork and group building. Peer-to-peer learning, where what our observation goes is they are very happy to take the feedbacks from their friends, so if a peer-to-peer feedbacks are being provided, that really helps the students in their development. Hackathon. Kingston organizes hackathon activities where students are actively being involved and they take up real-time social enterprise cases, or they take real-time business cases, and the students are being asked to provide solution to this. It's a 3 hours long activities and students are actively involved. So when as a transnational education, a student's experiences are multifold by using all these teaching tools in the curriculum, and I'm very proud to say that our curriculums are being made enriched, they are embedded strongly. You will find all these components are being combined as an assessment in the curriculum, which has been delivered by NMIMS CIS and Kingston University. So I tried to put up some images, some pictures of the activities which we did this year. There was a mental health workshop which was being conducted, and this mental health workshop had actually helped students in, of course, understanding how important is your mental health and how it is necessary. This was a part of a curriculum of the organization behavior. So this is some few pictures which I have just presented. Now, it is important that a student's holistic development also happens, and where every event is being developed in such a way that the student clubs are very, very active, and the student clubs, they not only brings in the activity, they are actually makes in the entire organization and implementation, and therefore it helps them to learn how your management skills, to learn their interpersonal skills, and various such skills are being enhanced. So this is about how transnational universities or the educational institutions focus their entire curriculum so that student holistic development is happening. To move further, how you are going to get benefited as a student, first comes is critical thinking. I'm sure Dr. John will focus upon, if it comes to the curriculum wise, every curriculum have a critical thinking component. Critical thinking, where when it comes to writing, it's not just application. You have to actually critically think about what you're writing. So critical analysis is not a negative term, but going forward as a student, you will be developed into a managers where a critical thinking is something which should be a component of your thought process. So therefore, the benefit of opting for such transnational educational programs are it invoke your critical thinking. It makes you active learning engagement. You're always alert, you're always active. Maybe Muskan will help you to highlight upon how active engagement is necessary when it comes to classroom, because your reflections are necessary. What you listen to your tutor, what you learn is active engagement, participative learning, and likewise. So therefore, if you are selecting, if you are thinking about any transnational education, The benefits behind those universities which they are going to offer is your critical thinking, learning engagement, participative learning, your knowledge enhancement, reflections, and yes, for sure, the studies are going to be research-oriented studies. They are purely research-based. You need to provide evidences. So this is something where you are not just stick to your book or maybe some kind of rote learning. You will have to be actively engaged. So this is all about what the transnational education is and on what are the benefits you are going to get when you are going to select the university of your choice. To come back to what SVKM and NMIMS offers in collaboration with Kingston University, we offer a dual degree program in business administration. After your successful completion, a degree will be awarded by NMIMS as well as it will be awarded by Kingston University, London. NMIMS University is going to award you BBA International Business, while Kingston University is going to award you BBA Honours Business Administration. Under transnational education, SVKM and NMIMS offers a unique pathway model where 2 years you are in Mumbai and 1 year you will go to London to complete your degree. This completes your 3 years. You can also opt for a 4th year, which is a placement year. Degree awarded will be with professional placement. But 3 years degree program where 2 years in Mumbai and 1 year at London. Going to London, Kingston University is compulsory for completion of your degree. So this is what the pathway model NMIMS CIS follows when it comes to transnational education. I'll again not discuss much in detail about the teaching, learning, pedagogy. What all I spoke in my initial slides about case
Placement after 3rd year.
What I
Yes, sir.
3 years.
Excuse me, can you please? Thank you. So what we all spoke about initially in my initial slides about what all techniques we use, this is how the unique teaching learning pedagogy works for NMIMS CIS along with Kingston University. To give you a quick look to the curriculum, this is what the curriculum being offered at CIS. First, level 4 will be at Mumbai campus. Level 5 will be at Mumbai campus. When I'm saying level 4, it is first year. Level 5, it is 2nd year. And level 6, it is 3rd year, which is at Kingston University, London. I hope I'll not take much again in depth because we have Dr. John also waiting for and Muskan also. We would like to listen to both of them. But this is just a quick overview of what is transnational education and what is SVKM, NMIMS, CIS and Kingston University to offer. You can anytime come and visit us. We are at 7th floor, Mitibai College Building, Villepale. So this is where we are located and you can reach out to us on these numbers. You can email it to us and you can also check the website of a CIS, and I'll again get back with some other procedures. But before that, I'll hand over now to Dr. John to take this forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Deepali. Let me quickly share my screen. And can you get everyone on the background on mute? Wonderful. Just let me know if you can see my screen and if you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. So firstly, let me acknowledge, thank you very much, Deepali. And thank you very much, Muskan, for coming for this session. And thank you, Shika, for organizing this session. At this moment, there are about 300 people I can see logged in. So it's a privilege to be able to share my experiences with all of you. So just to give you a background about myself, my name is Dr. John Sebastian Pereira. I am an associate professor in finance at Kingston University, London. And in some sense, I am very similar to most of you because I do come from Mumbai. That's where I did my undergraduate